Planting seeds in the soil, hoping they'll find their way. With the rusty old tractor and the trusty old mule, I keep this place running, trying to play it cool. I'm maintaining my half-ass homestead where the bluegrass grows. Working the land with my hands, that's how it goes. Though it ain't fancy, it's the life for me. Living off the land, happy and free. On my half-ass homestead, I toil day by day. Planting seeds in the soil, hoping they'll find their way. With the rusty old tractor and the trusty old mule, I keep this place running, trying to play it cool. I'm maintaining my half-ass homestead where the bluegrass grows. Working the land with my hands, that's how it goes. Though it ain't fancy, it's the life for me. Living off the land, happy and free. On my half-ass homestead, I toil day by day. Planting seeds in the soil, hoping they'll find their way. With the rusty old tractor and the trusty old mule, I keep this place running, trying to play it cool. I'm maintaining my half-ass homestead where the bluegrass grows. Working the land with my hands, that's how it goes. Though it ain't fancy, it's the life for me. Living off the land, happy and free. On my half-ass homestead, I toil day by day. Planting seeds in the soil, hoping they'll find their way. With the rusty old tractor.
All right, we got the music off. We're good. It just kept going, and I don't know, it came into a loop, and I don't know why it went into a loop. That's not the way it's supposed to be. So, Charlene, how you doing? What you got going on? Are you like in Arkansas or whatever and got a homestead going on, or are you working on trying to make that happen? Not much. Okay. Tell me a little bit about what you got going on, Charlie. I mean, we're all trying to do the same thing in probably different ways. For me, to get to Arkansas, I want to buy the land and I want to develop the land. So when I move there, I've already got a place to move to. And Cape Cod, okay, you're Florida. That's cool. I'm looking at buying land right now. I'm not looking at like moving right to Arkansas right now, but I want to buy the land. I want to have a chance to go in and develop the land and be able to say, when I leave New York, it's a big one. When I leave New York, I want to go to Arkansas and I want to have a place already set up to where when I leave New York, I can go there. A lot of people know I run Dollar Seed, and right now Dollar Seed is in the 13 by 40 shed. So if we don't sell the business and decide to keep it, then I need to have a 13 by 40 shed set up there. But my problem is that if we don't sell it and we move to Arkansas, my girlfriend's fine with it. She's just like, yeah, whatever. And I'm like, yeah, no. We have 5 employees here that are regular, me included. And then we have a weekender. So if we were to move to Arkansas, okay, Massachusetts, okay, I had Cape Cod in the wrong area, sorry. But if we were to just move to Arkansas, our employees aren't going to come with us. They're not into doing the homesteading. They're not into like restarting their lives. Like one of them, Jimmy, my buddy, he's like my go-to guy. He's older than I am, so he's close to retirement, and his wife is not much younger than he is. And she's like, well, if you retire, I'm retiring. And then their friend that works with them and for us, she's like not too much behind Leah. I think her and Leah are about the same age. Leah's like, I don't care. We'll move to Arkansas. Let's just do it. And I'm like, yeah, it's not that easy. Would we be able to find people that want to work for us? And in that area, Savannah is hard to find people that want to work. It's not that there aren't jobs out there. There's a lot of jobs available. The people available is the problem. Not a lot of people there, and the ones that are there are already either retired and using YouTube for their income or whatever, don't want to have jobs. And that's an issue for us because if we were to keep the seed business, we'd have to take it with us. And that also means we'd have to be like recreating our relationship with the post office, which is fine. I don't have a problem with that. And I don't know. It's just a toss up. Should we sell the business and live off of our retirement from the income from the seed business and from selling the house? Or should we keep the seed business and keep our income where it's at right now, which is really outrageous and I love it? I don't know. I'm at a toss up on this one. It's one of them things where there are a lot of people that think that we should just keep the seed business going. Yeah, that's the problem. There's a lot of jobs everywhere, but no one wants to work. That's absolutely true. Our younger generation thinks everything should be given to them and don't think they should have to work for it. And if that's the attitude, if you're working for me and that's the attitude you came in with, is that you're supposed to just like pay me to not do anything, I'm not paying you to do nothing. I mean, when you're talking, I don't know, almost 500,000 packages of seed a year being sold, I can't have somebody standing around not doing anything. Well, I do right now pay Jimmy, my employee, to do stupid things. I call them stupid things. We're going to be working on redoing the upstairs hallway. We're going to be taking out my infrared sauna out of the upstairs bathroom, removing the toilet, and going in and redoing the whole floor at some point in time. Those are what I call stupid things. They're not seed house related, but the things that I want to get done, and I can't sell the house till they are done. I've got the back porch out here. Right here beside me is the back door. That porch is going to be my new office, and eventually it's going to become somebody's bedroom. So that's another thing that needs to be done. We've started working on it, but weather didn't allow us to continue. So we're going to, I got a lot of thinking to do. You know, I mean, if I sold the business, we could buy any place in Arkansas we wanted, anywhere we wanted. But then we have to rely on the rest of that income from the sale to say, are you making enough? Did you make enough off the sale to be able to stay alive and survive? And to do that, it's really, really hard to say yes or no. We right now, we can go to the store and we can drop $100 a day and not think twice about it. You know what I'm saying? For us to sell the business, and of course, we're not going to sell it cheap, but we use that money and the money from the sale of this property, and we go to Arkansas and we buy it. Say we buy a house. I want to build my own, but say we bought a house. Well, now you got to look at that, buying the house and saying, all right, what are your taxes? How much are your utilities? And with the money you've got in the bank, how long can you sustain for just to do that. And did your lifestyle change because you did that? You made that change. You decided to make that move. And to be honest with you, yes, our lifestyle would definitely change. Right now we have, hey Atasha, how we doing? Right now we have an income of probably more than most people available to us, which would be in the neighborhood of about $1,900 a month. That's just the throw out number. I know it's higher. I know it's a lot higher. But that's because Leah has a job outside of her home, and we have the seed business. I work for the seed business. That's my job. That's all I do. I make a good dollar working for the seed business, but I also get paid rent from the seed business because the building the seed business is in is a building that I built, and because we're an LLC, they have to pay the rent to me. So if I sell the business, I lose my rent income and I lose my job. So that's all part of it too. I don't know. It's one of them things that it's hard to think about of what would it really take to survive. Now, if I build my house and I'm doing it on YouTube and people are watching every day and whatnot, yeah, that builds the subscribers, that builds the watch hours, it does all that. South Texas Roots is doing it now. Melanie and Gary did it, and Dave's doing it. So, I mean, it's there. Mike and Lissa are doing it. Can I do that too? Well, I don't have the same ability, I guess you could say. I've got a ton of cameras, but I don't have the ability to do all that editing and be able to put out usable content that people want to watch. I mean, there's things that happen that people will just sit back and say, yeah, I don't want to watch that anymore. And that's sad, but it happens. My friends Trent and Ellie over in Utah, they've got a great channel, and they're adding on to their house right now with an addition. And they will pick up 4,000 watch hours within an hour. And they've got a lot of followers because they've been on YouTube for, I don't know, 10 years or better. That's what I look at. Actually, when I go onto YouTube and I watch videos, that's probably the first thing I look at is how many people watched it, how long is the video, how many did you get for watch hours per hour, and how many subscribers do you have? And I watch channels that have 1 million plus subscribers. They put a 10-minute video out. That thing will be out for 30 minutes and they'll have 6,000, 7,000 watch hours in that 10 minutes. I can't do that. I can't do that. I know I can't do that. And I know I can't put out the right content people actually want to watch all the time. Like Gary overthinks everything, which I think is fine. Gary overthinking everything puts his channel to the front where people want to watch. Well, what's Gary overthinking now? How safe are people? That's another thing. If you're doing something sketchy, and because you're doing it sketchy, there's actually people that'll leave your channel because they don't agree with the way you're doing something. And that's not me, I don't want to do anything that's unsafe to me. I don't want to do anything unsafe to somebody else. But there are channels out there that do it, and they lose watch hours because they do it. But they have so many followers or so many subscribers. If you only watch 3 minutes of their video and say, yeah, I don't want to watch the rest of it, they still gain hundreds and hundreds of hours of watch time. So that's kind of where I'm at. Natasha Lynn, thank you. I like it too. I actually created that on a program called Kittl, Kittl. And It's done by AI. I said, I want a hand-drawn cabin. And that's what I got. That was the second iteration. The first one I didn't like at all. So that was the second one, and I'm like, yep, I like that one. I'll deal with that. That almost looks like David's cabin, except for it's got a chimney out the roof. Kittle was really, really good about working with me on that, and it uses AI. So when you go into Kittle, and Atasha, you know this because I sent you the link for your son's channel. That when you go in and you say, hey, I want this. If it can't kick it out like you got it or like you want it, you can say, yeah, no, do it again. And it'll automatically go in and it'll do it again and again and again until you finally figure out what you really want. The first one that they drew for me, I didn't like. It was almost like looking. Remember back when we were young and we used to do the stick people for hangman? That's kind of what that cabin looked like. I didn't like it. I was like, no, more detail. Hand drawn, more detail. Make it look like a log cabin. It doesn't have to be in the woods, but make it look like a log cabin. And it came out with this one, and I was like, okay, stock done. Now, I was working with another company for doing something for me, and it had that cabin logo on it, and everything they sent me, I think it was for doing hat patches, but everything they sent me was that cabin doesn't look like this cabin. It was totally different. It went back to looking like sick people. And I was like, yeah, no. If you can't do it the way it looks on this piece of paper right here in this picture I'm showing you, then it's not going to happen at all. I've got lasers. Right now, my ability to go in and print on leather or something like that is pretty good. Unfortunately, my ability to cut that leather patch out is not. But I was talking to a group of laser people, and they told me that the first thing that came out of the conversation was that I need to go in and I need to take the lens out of my laser, clean it, and then put it back in. Yeah, that's acceptable. I can say, yeah, I probably got a dirty lens on the laser. And it happens. I mean, if you're lasering wood, which I just did a crap load of cutting boards for Christmas, you get the smoke, and the smoke will actually leave particles on the lens. Doing the leather is even worse, actually. The leather adds an awful lot of particles to the lens. And that's the first thing they told me is take it apart and clean your lens. And I'm like, okay, I accept that. It's been a while. I think the last time I had to clean the lens was when I was doing the backs of mirrors to be able to do like fire department mirrors and stuff like that. Because when you burn off the back of the mirror, it creates a lot of odd smoke. And because you're going through chrome and all this other kind of chemicals and stuff in there, it will cloud up the laser. So I'm thinking, yeah, you're probably right. I need to clean the lens. Do I? I don't know. Will I? Absolutely. Absolutely. I bought an awful lot of leather to do hat patches with, not to try to make this work to be the best it can be. Do I need to do it very often? From what I was told, yeah. Like if you're doing leather patches today and they all look great, then you clean the lens tomorrow before you start again. So I don't know. I've never played with leather patches before. This is my first time. I'm not really super impressed. I was able to cut one patch out. It took forever, but I was able to cut one patch out, and it looked halfway decent. But the more it cut, the worse it looked. So I'm thinking that there's tricks to learn about lasers that I'm not totally in on yet, and I will learn them. You know, everything. Everything's a learning curve. When I got my embroidery machine, they told me I had to go to class and I had to learn how to use it. And I didn't do any classes, and I was able to come up with this. You know, that was with no classes. I didn't do a single class. And they recommend you everybody that buys the embroidery machine, Racoma 15 head or 15 needle head, single head, you got to take a class. It covers the warranty. If you don't take a class, your warranty's not covered. Well, I paid for it within a year, so do I really care if the warranty's covered? No, actually I don't. I mean, if it doesn't last a year, that's not my problem. That's their problem. They made a bad machine. But without going to class, yeah, I can get by without worrying about it. You know, if I can do hats like that, of course I don't do the digitizing myself. I hire a digitizer on Facebook. I'd love to share the name, but I can't remember it off the top of my head right now. He's very good. He's not very expensive. I think for doing the hats, I think it was like $10. He goes in and he digitizes the print so that when you go to do it with a needle, it comes out turning out perfect. And if you don't like the way he did it, you have to print with a machine. You actually have to go in and stitch it out. But if you don't like the way it's stitched out, you take a picture of it, you send it back, and you tell him why you don't like it, and he'll go back and for free do it again. For $10, can't go wrong. What I did when I did these hats is I said, all right, I want them for the hats, okay, but I also want it sized right for being able to do like what do they call them, polo shirts. And he's like, yeah, I can do one print does both. I was like, all right, cool, that's what I want. I want the one print does both. So he gave me the hat size one, and then he shrunk it down a little bit more, and he gave me the polo shirt one. Well, everything that shows up on the hat shows up on the polo shirt exact. I mean, there's no changes. It's 100%. All right, we lost somebody in here. At the top of the link, or top of the chat, there is a link if somebody has a camera and a microphone that wants to come in and join. But yeah, I've got 3 lasers now. I had 4, and I'm still learning them. It's not that easy. All right, Charlene, you're fine. Natasha Lynn, are you still here? I'm only seeing one watching, so I don't know if you're still here or not. There is a link at the top if anybody wants to join. You got a camera set up and you got a microphone set up. Go top of the chat. There will be a link up there that's been highlighted. I'll see if I can share it on screen. I'm not real sure if I can. All right, there you go. There's the link. If you want to join in on the chat and go live with me, you're welcome to. Well, Tasha, I'm on your TV. That's pretty awesome. I guess it's probably not a big screen. She's probably got me on this little like pocket TV she's carrying around while she's cleaning the house. Oh, I did not know that. Lazy Days Ahead is giving away 100 items tonight. Everyone's over there. I sent you the link on Facebook. I don't go on Facebook, so I'm sorry. I did not see that. All right, well, if Lazy Days Ahead is doing that, I'm not going to say don't go over to Lazy Days Ahead because I like those guys. Jess and them guys are great. Jess and Lisa, Lazy Days Ahead. If y'all want to go over there and play with their 100-part giveaway, I don't have an issue with that. I mean, we're pushing on close to a half an hour already anyway. And I kind of wouldn't mind doing that myself. Tasha Lynn. I was listening to a commercial today where they were talking about mattresses. And if you buy the purple mattress, God only knows what the name of the company was, but if you buy the purple mattress, they'll give you a 75-inch TV. And I was like, okay, wait a minute. You just gave me a TV that's wider than the bed. What am I supposed to do with the TV? Put it on the ceiling? Well, actually, that would be a really good place to put a TV. If you're laying in bed, you look up, you're watching TV. If it's on the wall, you're looking over the end of your feet or whatever, or somebody else's feet, you're trying to see what's on TV. Kind of sucks. So yeah, mount a 75-inch TV over my bed where I can just lay in bed and look straight up and see the TV. I love that idea, but I'm not going to go out and buy a purple mattress just to get a free TV, because that's $1,000 TV, which tells me they're overcharging me for that mattress, which is probably going to be $3,000 more for the mattress. So I don't know. That's not for me. All right, so we are 2 minutes from, actually we're 1 minute now from being 8:30. Let's call this one short. If you guys can, let's go over the lazy days ahead and hang out with Jess and Lisa, and maybe we can win something. Yeah, $3,000 bed. I'm not joking on that. Tasha Lynn, believe it or not, if you go out and buy a Sleep Number bed right now, I priced them. You're looking at $4,000. I'm sorry. I can sleep in a $20 tent. I don't need a $4,000 bed. Give me an air mattress, I'm content. You know. But yeah, let's all go give these guys some love over the lazy days ahead. I'm gonna call this one short tonight, and let's go see how they're doing. Catch you all later. Have a good night.